We continue to track severe weather across central Kentucky right now, putting down a ton of lightning, numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, getting wind damage reports into parts of the Bluegrass region. We've got the very latest team coverage coming up.
Also tonight on WKYT, emergency management officials, they have been preparing in Frankfort for this evening's storms, making their way through the Commonwealth. And it is time to be weather prepared, making sure your home and car have those supplies stocked up for whenever Mother Nature strikes.
With First Alert Weather, this is WKYT News.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Kelsey Soto. It certainly is an active night of severe weather. People are recovering in Indiana right now after what appears to be a tornado touching down. Take a look at this video of that twister in Greenwood, Indiana. That is just outside of Indianapolis. Severe storms also impacting the Commonwealth. Our WKYT Skycam catching this lightning show. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey on this First Alert Weather Day. We know things are still very active right now.
Yeah, we're going to concentrate on what's going on out there right now. Numerous counties under severe thunderstorm warnings. We've got wind damage reports coming out of much of the Woodford County area. Large hail that is showing up. Severe thunderstorm warnings showing from Lexington Metro and West. Numerous counties that continue to be under those severe thunderstorm warnings. And the amount of lightning is absolutely off the chart as of right now. This is the view from our WKYT Tower Cam looking outside toward the southwestern sky, where we've got numerous lightning flashes that are showing up. This has been pretty much continuous for the past hour and a half or so with those severe thunderstorms that are into central Kentucky, and they're packing a major punch in terms of lightning, damaging winds, and also large hail. As a matter of fact, these storms are strengthening right now as they make their way into the Bluegrass area as expected, with the severe weather that is showing up here on the south side of Lexington, down into Wilmore, Jessamine County, Nicholasville. We're likely to get in on widespread power outages, both from the wind and from the amount of lightning that is showing up in the skies. Lexington, the worst of the weather is on the southwest side of town. You're talking about down Harrodsburg Road into the Nicholasville Road area, and then across southern parts of Fayette County, roughly Jacobson Park, back over toward Tates Creek High School, and on top of the Jessamine and Madison County line with that severe thunderstorm now putting out a lot of wind damage. A lot of trees are down here across Woodford County, and I would imagine we're going to get additional reports coming in of widespread trees down and large hail. This is the worst of the weather. It's right on top of Nicholasville. It's essentially hugging northern parts of Jessamine County, right on the Jessamine and Fayette County line that is rolling its way toward the southeast, and the lightning we're seeing is incredible. And that's a sign of a strengthening storm. Hey, Richmond, we're not in that severe thunderstorm warning yet. We should be. These storms are moving fairly quickly. That warning needs to go ahead and be extended all the way into eastern Madison County and get through the city of Richmond. That is on its way to Richmond and parts of Clark County too. Now, immediately behind this, look at the amount of lightning with this severe thunderstorm. Lawrenceburg back toward the southwest into areas around Willisburg and right on top of the Bluegrass Parkway and point south. This is getting over into Mercer County with that severe thunderstorm that is rolling its way through. Lightning, hail, high winds, and some of these storms have had just a little bit of spin. That continues back toward the west. Another round of severe thunderstorms into Louisville. Louisville has been absolutely hammered by repeat severe thunderstorms over the past few hours. Brandenburg, that is into Meade County, toward E-Town, into Hardin County. Those severe thunderstorms are rolling on through. Flash flood warnings are out into Owensboro, where we just had a report of 2-inch size hail. If you're wondering what is 2-inch size diameter hail comparable to, it's roughly an egg. Yeah, that's how big the hail is. We even had some baseball-sized hail into southern parts of Indiana. But all of those severe thunderstorms are going to target our southern counties as we make our way through the remainder of the evening and right on into the wee hours of the morning. Unfortunately, we're not going to get rid of this stuff until we get that front to settle its way through the region. So southern Kentucky, severe thunderstorms are likely heading in your direction as well. To show you where these storms are going, let's check in with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. He's got the future radar coming up where those thunderstorms are heading into southern Kentucky, Jim. Folks down there got to be on the ready over the next few hours.
Exactly. That's the thing. As we move into the future here, that's ultimately what's going to happen once we get to that point. So far, what we've been looking at is a history of some big-time hail producers, numerous reports coming in, and right now indicating just in the last little bit, as it was making its way through Woodford County, suggesting golf ball-sized hail as a possibility. And notice the color contours. We look for those, and you can kind of match that up here. Same thing, trying to show indication there into Jessamine County. So that's what we're on track to see. At least the history is there, according to some of the radar data. Sometimes it overdoes it, but a lot of the ground reports are pretty close to that as well. Now, what's going to happen, those thunderstorms will continue to generate forward speed here as we head toward the midnight hour. You can see them lining up now, making their way into parts of southern Kentucky, and still on the stronger side. We're not catching that break that you would like. It's still on that strong side to intense, so we get some of the thunderstorms out there that could be producing the damaging winds, large hail, and again, that isolated tornadic threat. As Chris mentioned, we've had some of these that have shown hints of rotation, but not an official warning coming out from any of those that have developed out there so far. It'll take us into the wee hours of the morning before things start to really slow down. At 7 o'clock, and then you can see for a little while into the daytime hours, it does look a whole lot better, but it's about the timing of those coming in at night for you folks into central, southern, and parts of eastern Kentucky. That's when things could really start to light up quite a bit, and you can see really lighting up the skies out there right now with the thunderstorms that are moving through the area, with the one in Fayette County, and then look at that along the Bluegrass Parkway. Incredible amount of lightning associated with some of these storms too, Chris.
Yeah, the lightning, the large hail, and now the damaging winds, the calling card with these thunderstorms. And what you were just looking at, it said 781. Those are cloud-to-ground strikes. You're not talking about all this continuous lightning you're seeing going from cloud to cloud or just kind of forking its way through the clouds. Severe thunderstorm warnings, again, to recap, are out into much of central Kentucky. And that tower cam, you know, typically we come on air and we're showing a thunderstorm, and we only give the tower cam a limited amount of time to show us some lightning, or we got to move on. Well, it's not having any problems tonight in showing the lightning. It is tremendous. It is nonstop. Watch the creeks and streams as well for the possibility of flooding rains as these severe thunderstorms essentially roll their way over the same piece of real estate, one right after another. And I'm especially concerned now for some flooding issues here into southern parts of Fayette County through Jessamine County back toward the west. These thunderstorms are kind of moving over some of the same areas now. We're starting to see a little training going on, and that's how we can get some quick rises in our creeks and streams. But that severe thunderstorm warning gets almost into Richmond, and it's not into downtown Richmond. It should be, and we need to go ahead and just start placing these warnings well in advance of these storms coming in. They're not decreasing. They are strengthening as they get into parts of central Kentucky as of right now. So severe thunderstorm warnings continue to blanket much of the Bluegrass area. Tremendous amount of lightning, large hail, damaging winds. They're primary players with the storms that are out there. We got meteorologist Jason Lindsay, who is joining us now. And you're joining us via telephone right now because this is what you're in the middle of, and you're seeing some hail where you are.
Exactly. You can probably hear it right now, Chris. It's not the golf ball size hail that's happening right here around the Nicholasville area. It's between Lexington and Nicholasville. My photographer, Ray, and I are safe at this point, but we do have some hail slamming into the car, intense rain and wild winds. The storm that you're talking about right now between Lexington and Nicholasville, we are in Jessamine County right now. We do have some hail with this. It's a little larger than pea-sized hail right now, but you can tell as we are traveling right now on Nicholasville Road heading back towards Fayette County. This is an intense storm, which is all associated with that active severe thunderstorm warning. Again, some hail associated with this storm. You can hear it. Lots of dangerous lightning as well. You will notice as we take the camera here from our dash, we are driving in this. We can see ahead of it. We're keeping ourselves safe, but there's a lot of hail with it, intense rain, dangerous lightning with that storm between Lexington and Nicholasville, right along the Fayette and Jessamine County border there. I know it had a history of golf ball size hail with it, along with the damaging, dangerous wind as we are heading back toward the mall area here. We can see the hail covering some of the roadway. as well as we continue to drive forward. Lots of rain on the roadway. We have to make sure we're keeping it slow so there's no hydroplaning happening. If you don't have to get out in this, don't get out in it. But that's the bottom line with this storm as we continue to travel between Nicholasville and Lexington. Some large hail associated with it, intense rain, and dangerous lightning, along with a wild wind at times.
All right, Jason, stay safe out there. You guys do what you need to do, obviously, to stay safe. We'll be checking back in with you coming up momentarily, but you were literally, it's not too often we're doing a live shot in the middle of a storm, and you can hear the hail hitting the car, but that's what we're dealing with right now, and that's likely going to cause some damage. You get anything that is golf ball size or greater, and that's when you can get some hail damage, and that's what we're seeing. I'm also looking inside this storm here into Jessamine County because at times this has had a little bit of weak spin with it coming in from west to east. That has been the trend with these thunderstorms. Now, the broad view showing additional thunderstorms are trying to pop all the way back toward Interstate 71. So while the worst of the weather is on top of central Kentucky now and points south, we're not out of the woods in terms of a very, very stormy night across central and eastern Kentucky. And I look at this radar, and if we can open Jim's mic in, we're going to talk back and forth. We'll keep it right here. But, Jim, that future radar that we were looking at earlier today, matching up exactly with is showing us.
Yeah, you're getting that whole extension there, that whole near a line that has developed over the past couple of hours that keeps dropping toward the south and east. So that's what we have. Everything kind of lining up, and it's just as intense as all projections indicated.
Yeah, exactly right. And, you know, the models were hinting that those initial thunderstorms this evening would weaken, allowing this second line to take over and take control, and that's exactly what is going on as of right now. So we see that a little bit of some weak rotation right on top of Nicholasville, but boy, those storms lined up. You got two severe thunderstorms with this, and those warnings, again, we need to get those extended. We're speaking directly to the Weather Service out in Louisville and maybe watching this. Let's go ahead, give folks well in advance of these storms additional heads up with a warning because, well, you were seeing Jason's report. We're up to maybe quarter and golf ball size hail with that storm that he's seeing coming out of Jessamine County and into southwestern parts of Fayette County. And we're likely seeing a similar setup coming in with the storm that is immediately behind this. The worst of the weather is right on top of Bluegrass Airport, Keeneland. And where you see the white on this, people often say, what is the white? Is that snow? No, we're in the summertime. So what this is doing, the radar is telling us this is where we're getting in on large hail. Where you see the radar turn white like this for us, that is the radar's way of saying, okay, we got some big-time hail likely coming from these storms, and you can see where the worst of the weather is. Clays Mill, Manowar over toward Armstrong Mill, and again, right on into sections of Jessamine County. A little bit of good news for Versailles down toward Mortonsville. The worst of the weather is over, although we've had a lot of reports of trees that have been knocked down across Woodford County, and continuing to see this thunderstorm working its way from northwest to southeast into the Nicholasville area. And quickly on its heels, look at this. You don't have much separation between this severe thunderstorm and the severe thunderstorm that is roughly from Lawrenceburg toward Salvisa, down 127 toward Harrodsburg, and that's getting ready to outrun that warning as well. And again, getting those warnings expanded a little deeper into not only the evening, but the territory that we're dealing with right now is critical in giving folks as much heads up as we can. Nothing tornadic about these cells as of now, but when you're dealing with potentially golf ball size hail or larger and winds that may be gusting of 60 to 65 miles an hour, you can get quite a bit of damage into our part of the world, and that is indeed what we are seeing happening. Worst of this weather is just now to the north of Nicholasville, so we're seeing the Fayette-Jessamine County line with the worst of the storms heading into northern parts of Madison County. Folks up here around Red House and toward downtown Richmond, that is heading in your direction. Winchester, what a light show you're getting with just some light rain. You're looking on that western sky, you're seeing that storm and this storm behind it that are just loaded with torrential rain and loaded with a ton of lightning. Willisburg, Mackville, and eastward we go into Harrodsburg. Salvisa, that's 127, dealing with some of the worst of the weather. And farther to the west, severe thunderstorms showing up again. Bullitt County, the Shepherdsville area, eastbound. We go into Spencer County, and across parts of Hardin County. And I continue to watch these storms that just keep firing up here all the way into the Louisville metro. So these storms have a while before they are through with our part of the world. And in central Kentucky, we've got another 1 to 2 hours of severe thunderstorms, at least with a threat. And then southern Kentucky, we're going to see the greater opportunity for severe weather coming up here in the next 2 to 4 hours. So late evening into the wee hours of the morning. So if you're a light sleeper here into southern Kentucky, and maybe you're just scared of storms, a lot of folks are, it's going to be one of those nights where you want to stay alert. And of course, we'll be right here to walk you through it. Keep it right here on WKYT. We got team coverage of the severe weather. We'll check back in with Jason Lindsay coming up here in just a little bit, who's out in the hailstorm that is on the southwest side of Lexington. We'll check back with him and, of course, have more team coverage right after the break. Stay here with us.
Had enough? No, arthritis.
Here, Aspercream arthritis.
Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods.
Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspercream.
More furniture, more style, more inventory, and more savings. That's what you're going to find at the Burke Furniture 4th of July sale. Featuring 4th of July discounts on sofas, sectionals, entertainment centers, recliners, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. And right now is a great time to buy a new mattress with huge savings throughout our sleep center. Plus 0% financing is available. So get your home ready for summer at the Burke Furniture 4th of July sale.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
Reynolds Wrap makes it easy to cook and clean up meals in no time. So I don't miss all the fun stuff.
Easy prep, cook, and clean with Reynolds Wrap.
This is a story about purpose. This is a story about progress, about building on our past accomplishments and investing in innovation. All of this, combined with our industry-leading insurance, competitive pay rates, and flexible scheduling, is the reason why now is the time to join our team. This is our story. Let it be your story.
I was on the way to work, and I got rear-ended. The first person that I called was Morgan & Morgan. With Morgan & Morgan, the process in general, very easy. I could be in a different state, and for me to just do this, click this e-sign, I'm like, okay. Working with Morgan & Morgan is so easy.
Aqua Living has finally made owning a hot tub affordable, selling directly to the consumer, saving you thousands. We are the manufacturer. With our in-house financing, we offer 100% approvals, with payments as low as $59 a month. Shop now at HotTubLife.com.
It's a family affair at your favorite diner. Josie's in Chevy Chase is serving up breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Try hit selections like our blueberry pancakes, Asian sesame salad, the smokehouse burger, or Josie's famous Reuben. Family owned and family friendly. Quality food made with love and service from an amazing staff. Parking is free, so come on down to Josie's.
That's delicious.
Good morning with Docolax.
Good morning. Hey. Yeah.
Try Docolax Chewy Fruit Bites for fast and gentle constipation relief in as little as 30 minutes. Making your good morning even better with Docolax.
Closed captioning on WKYT is brought to you by Cumberland Valley National Bank. Bank better.
We continue to track severe thunderstorms across the region. Here you go with the warnings that are out into central Kentucky. All the areas that are in yellow currently have severe thunderstorm warnings. That includes much of the Lexington metro, and those go for varying times. We're going to see additional warnings extended farther south and southeast. You want to see a light show? Well, you're seeing it, obviously, if you're in Lexington or the metro right now. But our tower cam is absolutely lighting up. We are getting a tremendous amount of lightning. Lots of wind damage coming in from Woodford County. We're likely to see more across the Bluegrass region. Thunderstorms continue to develop back to the northwest. The worst of the weather is into the Bluegrass region now. There's been a little bit of spin with this storm into Jessamine County. That has weakened over the past little bit, so good news. But damaging winds, large hail. This storm is just about to outrun the Polygon It's about to the end of that warning. And again, hopefully we get that extension into Clark County and into downtown Richmond for that severe thunderstorm warning. There's zero reason to wait on that one as of now. Where you see the radar in white, that is large hail that continues to come from the skies. Back to the west of us into Versailles, Woodford County, we're seeing a little bit of a break in between the severe thunderstorms. One to the west of Mortonsville, one right on top of the Fayette and Jessamine County line. That's going to continue to roll its way toward the southeast. In Richmond, hey, listen, if you don't have the car in the garage right now and you have the opportunity to do it, you got about 2 minutes before this storm gets into the Richmond area, and especially on the north side of town up into parts of Clark County. Severe thunderstorm into Salvisa, Harrodsburg, that's right on 127, and that's going to continue to roll its way toward the east and southeast with damaging winds, large hail, torrential amount of rain coming from the skies too. We got to be on guard for flooding and flash flooding issues. Farther to the west, look at this severe thunderstorm that is heading toward E-Town into Hardin County, Brandenburg, up into Louisville. Louisville, we've had about 5 or 6 different severe thunderstorms on the day. So these storms, as expected, packing a major punch as they continue to drop toward the south and southeast. So areas to the south of Danville into the southern half of Kentucky. And we're going to have to contend with these storms over the next several hours. All of this is spinning around low pressure. Looks like a springtime setup. That low is around Chicago. And then you've got the cold front that is into areas of central Kentucky. And that is spawning the worst of the weather that is right on top of the Lexington metro. So essentially what we're dealing with now, some of the worst weather across the entire country, is outside our window and outside our door here in the Bluegrass region of Lexington. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has been with us all evening long as well. And Jim, you've been watching these storms, and the amount of hail they're putting down into central Kentucky it's up there.
It certainly is. You're absolutely right. That's been the track here so far. And one of the big calling cards with it, reports out of Nicholasville or in Jessamine County, just outside of Nicholasville, of some nickel-sized hail. Then you get out to Wilmore. Numerous trees are reported down in that area. And we're going to continue watching these thunderstorms move across the area with that large hail threat because, as he mentioned, we've already had some of these produce quite a bit. The hail-size tracker that we've been looking at suggests golf ball size hail earlier in Woodford County, where we also have some trees down. And all in that extension right there, as that storm has been moving through, you have encountered some of that. I'm getting some updates over here. I'm going to pull those up and see what's happening. And we are now getting an update on the severe thunderstorm warning that's out for Fayette, Clark, Garrett, Jessamine, Madison, and Woodford County. That right there is suggesting destructive winds associated with that. That's the first time I've seen that tagline all night, so that's interesting. But what's going to happen as we move into the future, you'll see these thunderstorms keep barreling forward, and as they do, the intensity, the strong winds, damaging winds, large hail threat continues, and there could be some tornadic activity. Even as it cruises into southern and southeastern Kentucky, you're looking at getting into the very early parts of tomorrow morning. That's the big issue there, as we can see that line of storms that will continue to kind of work its way through the region into the nighttime, and then eventually it settles down as we get into the early morning hours. But right now, Chris, we're just getting treated with a light show, some very intense thunderstorms, and some warnings that are out there right now.
Yeah, to recap those warnings into central Kentucky, it's all the real estate in the yellow. These aren't the typical severe thunderstorm warnings. It's not your summertime, well, it pulses up and then it dies down quickly. These are actually increasing across the board, and the amount of lightning, what an incredible light show. Yeah, Jim and I were talking about this off camera a little bit ago. It's been a while since we've seen this amount of lightning into our part of the world, and those severe thunderstorms just continue to absolutely do their thing with a tremendous amount of lightning, maybe a little bit of some weak rotation that is not there anymore. Stronger thunderstorms to the north of Georgetown, to the north of Frankfort, trying to pulse back up, but we are still seeing those severe thunderstorms here across southern parts of Fayette County, down into northern sections of Madison County, and that continues now heading toward Danville into Boyle County, right on top of Mercer County. watch the creeks and streams as well. You cannot get 1-2 severe thunderstorms putting down this amount of rain to move over the same areas in less than an hour and not get some local flash flooding issues. So that is a possibility. New severe thunderstorm watch has been issued across southern Kentucky. That's all the area in yellow, and the tornado watch is the red. That goes until 11 o'clock this evening. That new severe thunderstorm warning, I would imagine, goes till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, Jim. We'll get the time on that, but that is literally just coming in as of right now with that new severe thunderstorm watch that goes all the way into Tennessee. So southern Kentucky,
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's going to be a long night for us, kiddos. 4 o'clock in the morning for that severe thunderstorm warning across the southern half, or severe thunderstorm watch, he says, across the southern half of the state. And again, numerous counties are under severe thunderstorm warnings. Keep it right here on WKYT with team coverage that continues on the CW Lexington.
Summer is on at Don Franklin Lexington Nissan. Take advantage of the all-new 2023 Nissan Altima starting at $27,185, or drive away in the all-new 2023 Rogue as low as $28,750. Hurry into Don Franklin Lexington Nissan.
Psoriasis really messes with you.
Try, hope, fail.
No one should suffer like that.
I started Cosentix. 5 years clear.
Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentix. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections, some serious, and the lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Tell your doctor if your Crohn's disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
Best move I ever made.
Ask your dermatologist about Cosentix.
Martial arts is my passion.
I work out whenever I can.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it can be tough.
My skin was so uncomfortable.
The itching was so bad.
Now I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema, so adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
Wake up, achievers. You're making the most of every hour of your life, except the hours that you're sleeping. So why do we leave so much untapped potential on the table? This is a next level bed for a next level you. My circadian rhythm is kicking your circadian rhythm's butt.
It's not a competition.
I know, but I'm still winning.
So it is a competition.
The Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is now only $899, plus 48-month financing on all smart beds. Shop now only at Sleep Number.
Hi, this is Joseph with Rapid Fire Home Buyers. Do you have a house that's costing you too much time and money? Maybe a rental house, an inherited house you don't know what to do with, or the house you're living in that you just can't keep up with. We buy property in any condition and any price range all over the Southeast. Sell your house as is for cash with no repairs, no fees, and no commissions. If you're even thinking of selling your house, before you call a realtor, give us a call for a free cash offer. Call 859-695-3875.
This Monday, watch a new episode of The Rising at 8/7 Central.
Summer is on at Don Franklin Lexington Nissan. Take advantage of the all-new 2023 Nissan Altima starting at $27,185, or drive away in the all-new 2023 Rogue as low as $28,750. Hurry into Don Franklin Lexington Nissan.
We continue with our first alert weather day. Tornado watch continues up until the top of the hour of 11 o'clock, but a severe thunderstorm watch has been added to this, and I would imagine there is some overlap here with some of the severe thunderstorm watch that at 11 o'clock, or the tornado watch at 11 o'clock, will flip over to a severe thunderstorm watch that continues across southern Kentucky until for tomorrow morning. So this is one of those all-night severe weather events that we are dealing with. Areas in yellow, those are, as you can see, severe thunderstorm warnings. There's a little overlap of a flash flood warning and a severe thunderstorm warning out in western Kentucky, and anywhere these storms are putting down a tremendous amount of rain and lightning. WKYT Tower Cam, as we look on that western sky where things are just really booming. And my goodness, the amount of lightning now into the Lexington metro from Lexington and south is just insane. It has been a while since we've seen prolific lightning producers, and thankfully there's your severe thunderstorm warning that is finally coming in across Madison County, including downtown Richmond, southern parts of the Clark County area as well. And this is, once it crosses out of Madison County, it is now into the responsibility of the National Weather Service down in Jackson. And here's a heads up for Jackson. Let's get that warning out into parts of Powell County, northern sections of Jackson County, and into Estill County as well. Severe thunderstorm warning with this new one for parts of Clark, Fayette, Garrett, Jessamine, and Madison. That'll go until 11:15 for damaging winds and some large hail. And Jim's got some storm reports he'll throw at you coming up here in just a few minutes, where he's been checking and seeing all the damage reports that are coming in, what damage reports we've been seeing. South side of Lexington, we're still dealing with the worst of the weather around Nicholasville Road back toward Versailles Road and Point South. South now of Versailles, south of the BG Parkway is where the worst of the weather is. Nicholasville, I know we got a lot of power outages showing up into Jessamine County. We just got rid of one severe thunderstorm, and there's likely another one that is coming in from the west. And look at how intense this storm is into northern Madison County. Hey, listen, Richmond to Red House, this is moving in, and this likely, looking at the high reflectivity that is increasing. The reflectivity is increasing on this one. We're likely to get it on some major hail from this storm. I mean, you may have golf ball size hail or greater from Richmond toward the Kentucky River, toward the Clays Ferry area and southern parts of Fayette County. As a matter of fact, our radar has been estimating already up to egg size hail with this. This is going to roll its way toward the southeast. So again, do me a solid if you're watching us into Estill County, far western parts of Powell County, and at least the northern half of Jackson County. That's where these storms are heading within the next half hour. Go ahead. If you got a garage, get the car in the garage. We may have some pings in the old car. From Harrodsburg to Danville, a tremendous amount of lightning. That's where the worst of the weather with this second severe thunderstorm is. Heading toward the Bergen area, Bryant'sville, watch those creeks and streams too. This area's been worked over for an hour, with repeat thunderstorms and more in the way of heavy rain-producing thunderstorms rolling in. Severe thunderstorm warning around E-Town, strong thunderstorms into Louisville. I'm surprised we don't have a flash flood warning across Jefferson County, given how many thunderstorms have moved over that same area, one right after another. So again, slow to move toward the south and the southeast. But if you're watching us now into Somerset, into London, Corbin, back over toward Liberty, Columbia, Russell Springs, Jamestown, Williamsburg, Breathitt County, Jackson, we're going to watch these storms heading in your direction slowly but surely over the next several hours with that big low that continues to spin to our north. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has been tracking everything with me all evening long. And Jim, I know you have been looking at some of the storm reports going on, and the large hail coming out of these storms is absolutely incredible.
Some of the ground confirmation reports from some of the folks that have been out there and they've actually seen some of this, suggesting that that hail, again on the ground, at least nickel size, quarter size, and that kind of capacity. But we have indications on radar that it has been much larger than that at times. And this causes billions of dollars in damage a year from hail, believe it or not, to property, crops, and whatnot. I mean, this can be a real-time issue. And that's exactly what we're looking at with the indications from all of this as it's been passing through Jessamine County, back into Woodford County. You get out around the Keene area, they had some nickel-sized hail, an actual confirmed report of that. And then around Wilmore, trees down, some damage there. Power outages are starting to add up. They're not overwhelming at this point, but sometimes it takes a minute or two for those to start to trickle in as the storm goes through. But power certainly out in many locations. A few thousand customers out in Woodford County, some up to around 1,500, I believe, in Franklin County. And then we're going to see more as we head deeper through Jessamine County over the next little bit. But look at that. It says Henegg. an egg, just an egg that you would find in your refrigerator. That's the kind of hail track that's been showing up with this, and that's what's headed right into Madison County as well. And we'll continue on that track as we look at our future radar. You can see some of those thunderstorms going into southern southeastern Kentucky on the severe side. That's why there's a severe thunderstorm watch until 4 o'clock in the morning for that area. And then eventually all of this will be, again, to wind down quite a bit. It's just going to take its time to get us to that point. But we're not there as of this moment yet. We still have several more hours to get through before that starts showing up across southern Kentucky, eastern Kentucky as well. So you really haven't had the full effect of this just yet, but that will be headed your way as we move through time here. So the thunderstorm chances are going to increase quite a bit. Again, we've been tracking that area right there. Look at this, all the way up to tennis ball sized hail now. So it's gone from egg sized to your tennis ball size. So think about the size of a tennis ball, and that's the kind of stuff that could be tracking out of that thunderstorm that is severe and moving into Madison County. This has been an intense round as far as that's concerned. Hail and damaging wind were the primary threats. Tornadic activities was going to be more of an isolated thing, and so far, Chris, it looks like that's coming true.
Yeah, I don't have a tennis ball handy, but I do have a baseball, so tennis ball would be just a little smaller than the baseball-sized hail. That's what we're dealing with, and I'm hearing now that Bluegrass Airport is closed with flights that are being diverted to Cincinnati as of right now. And I get that firsthand from my daughter who's trying to get into Bluegrass Airport right now, being diverted to Cincinnati. So there you go. This is what happens when you're dealing with severe weather that is ongoing across central Kentucky. And those severe thunderstorms are dropping in to the Bluegrass area. Watch the flash flooding here into Jessamine County and across parts of Richmond into Madison County. You're talking about, again, up to potentially tennis ball and baseball sized hail with these two severe thunderstorms that are rolling their way, and this intense thunderstorm between Lexington and Richmond. And we are at 10:35. I think I have our meteorologist Jason Lindsay on the phone right now, and Jason is en route to, I believe, Madison County. And Jason, you are driving through the heart of this storm right now. What are you seeing? I know you had big hail a little bit ago.
Yeah, right now I'm on Richmond south there, to where that storm, which has had a history of some gigantic hail, is impacting our friends there right along the Fayette County and Madison County border, just moving, it looks like, still just north there of Richmond, between Lexington and Richmond, closer to the Richmond area. It's had that history, as you pointed out, of producing that hail. We were in it earlier, just had to backtrack a little bit in order to get to it. Showing up pretty interesting on radars. I'm using another source just like you of looking at just that. It will have that potential. When I was in it a little bit earlier, closer to Nicholasville, the car was back and forth with a wild wind. It had a history of 60-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts. The large hail with it, the intense rain, and the lightning out here is dangerous as well. A lot of water on the roadway, so some flash flooding would not be surprising, especially in those areas that typically gets the rain. So driving through Fayette County now, intersecting into Interstate 75, headed south there from Richmond Road, tracking that storm right there. Are you seeing any rotation specifically with that storm other than, if it's had a history of producing those softball-sized hailstones? You and I both know those hailstones have got some hefty updrafts in it, so lots of updrafts in that storm. Are you seeing any rotation with that potentially as it continues to push this north of Richmond, Chris?
Yeah, if we come back to our radar picture here really quickly, you can see just a hint of some rotation that is to the north of Richmond. And Jason would be en route. Going through right here would be just a little bit of some rotation north of Richmond, and that would be roughly 2-3 miles to the north of the city of Richmond. And so, Jason, that's likely what you are driving through right now with the intense lightning, and there is a little bit of at least some broad rotation showing up in that storm.
Okay, we'll be safe here. We're going to keep a close eye on it. Looks like I just got a new radar scan. Lots of pink on the map, and of course, lots of hail with that storm. What's the largest you've had reported there with storm reports with that storm?
Yeah, we've had up to golf ball and hen size hail, but the radar estimates right now are up to tennis ball size. With this storm along the Kentucky River, not too far away from the Clays Ferry exit there on 75. But Jason, you guys stay safe out there, and we'll be checking back with you in just a little bit. And obviously, if you get any more reports or you see anything out there, we'll throw you on. All right, be safe, buddy.
Thanks so much. Yeah,
all
keep
right.
safe. Take care.
All right, here's what we're dealing with again with the worst of the weather on the south side of Lexington, but it is decreasing into Woodford County and right on top of Jessamine County into Nicholasville. Large hail, dangerous lightning, damaging thunderstorm winds. And here's the severe thunderstorm that is on top of Richmond. Richmond to Red House. There is some spin with this part of the storm that is right on top of the interstate. So Richmond, we're going to keep a very close eye on that, but I'm looking at this, and that high reflectivity says we are dealing with some big time hail and high winds with this storm across the north side of Richmond up into Red House, and that's going to continue to work its way toward the Doylesville area. Folks around Lake Reba, getting over toward Waco into eastern parts of Madison County, that's heading in your direction. And again, I'm going to send this out for the Weather Service who may be watching us down at Jackson. National Weather Service in Louisville, their area ends on the Madison and Estill County line. This is a severe thunderstorm. It is heading into your jurisdiction now. Let's get those warnings out for the folks into Estill County and northern parts of Jackson County. There is no reason to be waiting when you're getting confirmed large hail and damaging winds with these storms that are working their way on through. This is what we're talking about here. So this gets all the way to the eastern side of where the National Weather Service is responsible for, the Weather Service in Louisville, and then you get toward Ravenna and areas of Estill County. That is the responsibility of Jackson, National Weather Service. That storm is 5-6 miles away from getting into Estill County. No reason to wait on getting that warning out. Zero at all. And that extends back into Boyle County, too, with the severe thunderstorm. We have a flight map, I'm being told, that we can show what is going on right now. I'm not exactly sure what we're dealing with here, but this would be the current Bluegrass Airport. One canceled flight, and you see and several delays that are coming in. But I know one of those flights that was supposed to land from American Airlines is being diverted to Cincinnati. At least that was what was told to the passengers about 10-15 minutes or so ago. So this airport may not be completely up to date as of now. So we are dealing with that. And I'm looking at a flight map, and flights are going all around those storms. They are dodging the storm, and that's what they're going to do. You know, people often worry about a flight going through a severe thunderstorm or landing in a severe thunderstorm. Listen, they're going to avoid thunderstorms and bad weather at all costs. So here's what we are dealing with across central Kentucky with the current warnings that are out into the Bluegrass area. And we're going to continue to see that storm that is into Madison County. We're getting reports now of significant damage in Wilmore. All right, so significant damage in Wilmore from the Jessamine County Emergency Manager. Significant damage there in Wilmore with a jackknife commercial vehicle on US 68. Fire department, radio repeater also malfunctioning there. So for folks up in the newsroom who are listening to this, significant damage in Wilmore and a jackknife, what essentially amounts to a semi, on US 68 there. And that severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, was just extended into areas of Ravenna, into McKee, and across into Lee County and Owsley County. So thank you to the National Weather Service in Jackson for going ahead and throwing that out. Widespread wind damage in the wake of this particular storm, and I'm concerned we're going to see that across the northern part of Madison County where that storm currently is as it makes its way on in from northwest to southeast. All right, I know I'm going to send it to break for just a moment because when we come back from this, I want to get us both on WKYT and on the CW. So we got to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. Keep it right here for team coverage.
Did you get the precious metals?
Get your hands on Kentucky Lottery's new Precious Metals Scratch-Off games with over $28 million in prizes.
There it is. That feeling you get when you can do more with less asthma. It starts with Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Can you picture it? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways.
Love can get a little messy. Good thing there's Resolve. Love the love, resolve the mess.
Injured? Great results like these are why so many people in Kentucky get Hughes & Coleman and get it done. $412,000 for a man who was injured in a crash in Louisville, $1 million for a Bowling Green man involved in a motorcycle wreck, and $2 million for a woman in a car wreck in Logan County. If you've been injured, do what thousands of Kentuckians have already done. Call 800-800-4600. Get Hughes & Coleman and get it done.
Hi, everybody. Our WKYT First Alert Weather Day continues. Severe thunderstorms causing a lot of damage across central Kentucky right now. Tornado watch continues up until the top of the hour of 11 into the Bluegrass region. Severe thunderstorm watch goes until 4 a.m. for the southern half of Kentucky. And what happens at 11 o'clock is essentially areas along and south of 64 will switch over to a severe thunderstorm watch. Look at all the warnings that are currently out, and we've been seeing widespread large hail and some wind damage with this complex of severe thunderstorms right on top of central Kentucky. The WKYT tower cam, the lightning with this has been absolutely tremendous. One of the greatest lightning shows you are ever going to see across our part of the world, and that continues to show up as of right now. Here's the radar picture with the worst weather across the country, essentially now right on top of central Kentucky, and that's going to sag to the south and southeast. So we got a major lightning show that is ongoing. We got wind damage. We also have large hail that may be damaging in its own right. The worst of the weather is sinking to the south of Lexington. We've got two severe thunderstorms coming out of Madison County back over toward areas of near Bryantsville into Garrett County and right on top of Danville into eastern Boyle County. Those are rolling in from northwest to southeast and producing, again, a tremendous amount of lightning, damaging winds, and large hail. We're also getting reports of a lot of wind damage showing up here near the Wilmore area. Jim, we can go in on this storm that is into Richmond. Let's concentrate on the storm into Madison County right now. We'll zoom in on that one to show you what is going on as it is right on top of Lake Reba, Richmond Center, and where you see this up around Red House, the reflectivity is off the charts with this thing. So that is the way, one of the ways the radar is telling us this is likely producing major hail that can be damaging in its own right. Our radar has been estimating up to tennis ball sized hail with this storm. And the worst is right on top of Richmond and Lake Reba. Folks living along 52, that is rolling in your area. If you're watching this right now into Estill County, that's going to be on top of you very, very shortly. But yeah, this is a very intense thunderstorm. The worst for Lexington is essentially over outside of the far southern tip. And then you've got other strong and severe thunderstorms from Jessamine County down toward Danville, into parts of Lincoln County with a severe thunderstorm warning, and across Lancaster, dropping in northwest to southeast. These thunderstorms mean business. They are not wasting any time. They're not wasting any energy that is available in the atmosphere. And in doing so, large hail and damaging winds are really showing up. Again, we had a report, Jim, just a little bit ago out of Wilmore, of significant wind damage, and also a commercial tractor trailer that had been blown over on 68. Is that right?
That's the report that's coming in out there on 68. They're having all kinds of issues out there, too. And here's what's been coming in the last little bit. Valley View in Madison County. Yeah. Actual report confirmed of baseball-sized hail now coming in. Then you get into the Union City Road and Hampton Ridge area. You got some power outages because of the wind going through there. Also, just northwest of Richmond, ping pong ball sized hail now coming down. That was about 4 minutes ago. So everything coming together out there. And we've got some water over the roads out at Kentucky 169 and Woodford County. And that's at 169 and 1964. So McCowan's Ferry Road. So in that general area. So all of a sudden, Chris, these reports are coming in. Now we're starting to see kind of the aftermath of what these storms have been able to do. But actual confirmation. You know, our radar has been suggesting up to baseball-sized hail. Now we're actually getting some confirmed reports of that coming on the ground there in parts of Madison County. So all of this kind of just adding up in the last little bit here with a lot of what we've been tracking on radar coming true. Everything has certainly suggested that. And now that's exactly what some of this is actually spitting out, getting hail to that size. So an incredible amount and numerous power outages now showing up all over the place here.
Jim, do me a solid here. Let's pause the radar and let's zoom in into Madison County and see if we can see any kind of spin that is showing up with this storm. It has had a history of producing a little bit of rotation over the past little bit. And again, it would be in Madison County where we had the baseball-sized hail report. And just for perspective's sake, to be talking about baseball-sized hail, we've got this ready for you. This is what the reports have been coming in from. Baseball-sized hail, which is not very common at all across Kentucky in the springtime, certainly not in the summertime, but that's what we have been dealing with those reports now. And it's not just one. Obviously, there are numerous hailstones with this. So we're looking inside this storm, not seeing a ton of rotation with this as of right now. If we are, it's very, very broad. So that is certainly some welcome news, but I would imagine we're going to get in on a lot of damage. And up in the booth, if we got the outage map, let's go ahead and take that. So we are up now to 58,000 customers without power. Now click on, let's go highlight Jessamine County. Let's see how many customers we've got. Look at that. 11,158 customers out of just a shade under 20,000. So more than half of Jessamine County is now without power, courtesy of these storms that blew through this particular area over the past little bit. And you can see the destruction left behind there with the power outage map, and we're likely to see that expanding into Fayette County, Madison County, and into Garrett County coming up here very, very shortly. But more than half of Jessamine County is now without power. I believe Jessamine County, we've got, 55,000 people roughly, give or take a little bit across Jessamine County, maybe pushing 60. So more than half of the population of Jessamine County is now without power, courtesy of these severe storms that are making their way into the Bluegrass region. So we'll keep looking at that map. Let's come back to the radar picture. You got the severe thunderstorm right on top of Richmond. We've got meteorologist Jason Lindsay, who has been out chasing the hail-producing thunderstorms. I don't think he was chasing them. I think the hail-producing thunderstorms were chasing him. We checked in with him on a couple of occasions where you could see the hail hitting the car. You could hear it. He is, last time we checked, Jason, you were en route to Richmond. Hopefully you've made it there in safe fashion, first and foremost. But tell us what you've had to endure on the trip from Lexington down to Richmond.
Interstate 75 right now, you'll notice some emergency vehicles to the left as we've taken our live picture here from the vehicles. Intense rain, lots of trees, limbs, grass that had been broken, the different plants that have been torn down by all of the hail that went through. Haven't found a lot of hail on the ground. There's lots of debris from signs that hail had to hit the interstate. Lots of people taking shelter under underpasses from the rain and the hail. Again, we are traveling south right now on Interstate 75. The core of this storm that was producing the hail has shifted east of Interstate 75. We're just a couple miles right now from Richmond, but you will notice the rain, folks, taking it slow here on the interstate as that rain puddling on the roadway can cause you to hydroplane. Again, what we found, lots of emergency vehicles heading north there on 75, as you will notice. We're heading south right now toward Richmond. Lots of dangerous biking and lots of what looked like hail that had moved through because a lot of the branches of the trees and the leaves had been torn off and on the side of the road from where some larger hailstones may have impacted those. There's a limb right there. We are taking it slow, traveling south here in this intense rain. Right now we are in Madison County. If you look close enough on the roadway, you'll be able to see that grass and those trees and the leaves and all of the green on the ground there from where those hailstones have pushed through this part of the interstate right now. That's what we're seeing here on Interstate 75, headed toward Richmond and Madison County. On location, I'm Jason Lindsay to Unison.
All right, Jason, stay safe down there. What we're dealing with, these severe thunderstorms that are into central Kentucky now. And Jason is essentially driving right into this severe thunderstorm that is producing large hail, a lot of wind damage as well. So here's the overall setup in terms of the radar picture with the severe thunderstorms, at least the worst of the severe thunderstorms now south of Interstate 64. And that, look at the tail end of that. Man, oh man, look, the lightning with this is absolutely incredible, and that continues to work its way on in. So if you're watching us into southern and southeastern Kentucky, threat is there for damaging winds and large hail. Take a look at some video, I believe, out of Madison County from some large hail there. And this is, if we got some audio with that, we can turn that on. Yep, that's what folks in Madison County were saying. Obviously, those gusty winds and the large hail with the storms that continue to drop their way across Madison County. And the light show with that has been off the charts. And we'll go through my Kentucky Weather Twitter feed. We'll see if we can find some more pictures and or video, and we'll bring that to you. Back here on the radar, and so we can set the scene again with the severe thunderstorm watch that is across southern Kentucky. This is going to be into parts of the Bluegrass region as well. Stronger thunderstorms are to the north of Lexington, but as of now, those are just some general thunderstorms that will continue to cause some issues. But this severe thunderstorm on top of Madison County, rolling to the southeast, an additional severe thunderstorm coming across parts of Lancaster into Garrett County. But here is Richmond, Lake Reba. We're getting pounded likewise here into Red House, and that extends toward 374, 52. That will be crossing over in a matter of minutes, where you've got that high reflectivity to the east of Lake Reba, between Lake Reba and Irvin. We're likely seeing some big-time hail, up to baseball-sized, has been reported with this storm as it continues to roll its way across Madison County. Madison County has roughly 100,000 people in Madison County. We're getting a lot of power outages now coming out of Madison County. Let's go back to, if we have that power outage map, I want to see what we're dealing with. So, and again, this storm is just getting into Madison County, so the outage map is going to be lagging a little bit. So we've got roughly 1,500. Now let's go back to Jessamine County and see what the number is there. It's growing. We're almost to 13,000 customers, not people, customers out of almost 20,000 that's tracked. So more than half the population in Jessamine County is without power as of right now with that batch of severe thunderstorms. We know we had significant wind damage reported around Wilmore. What's the overall number for the entire state? We're up to 65,000. Woodford County, I noticed that is climbing. If we can just kind of take the cursor, we'll go over some of these counties. So around 538 into Woodford County. A little over 1,300 Franklin County, 2,400 Anderson County, and those outages extend down into Mercer County too, where you've got almost 1,000. Let's go to Fayette County, just out of curiosity, see what we got in Lexington. 2691. So those are the current outages. Obviously, you got a lot more customers in Fayette County. It's the most populated county in central and eastern Kentucky. So the outage map, though, into Jessamine County is way up there, and likely to see those numbers skyrocketing in Madison County coming up here very, very shortly. I want to go back to Jim real quickly while we keep this power outage map up. Jim, any new reports that are coming in right now?
Here's one that's coming in from some emergency management folks down in Madison County. Reports of hail breaking windows on Union City Road.
Hang on. Let's get Jim's mic back up.
Yeah, and on Union City Road in that area. So we're talking about some significant hail. I mean, because we already had an actual confirmed report of it being baseball-sized.
Windows broken out, to repeat.
Windows broken out, that's right.
Windows broken out in Madison County.
But because of hail, just absolutely pelting whatever it was, whether it be an apartment or whatever, it was pelted with some of that hail. So you're talking about a strong thunderstorm and a lot of indication that we could see. Now, I had to go to a chart to compare what this was, but apple. Think of a large-sized apple-sized hail coming out of some of these thunderstorms. The one that's right now on top of Madison County, that's what could be produced from that. So just to think about that. Think about that size of hail falling from the sky. Starting to see more warnings pile up out in eastern Kentucky now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for Lee, Owsley, Powell, Wolfe County. So digging a little deeper into eastern portions of Kentucky there, a little bit of an extension on some of that. So we just continue watching all of this as the numbers are growing and the severe thunderstorms are racing through the area. Then you have that one on the backside now there, Chris, that's into Campbellsville. So that's what's headed into southern parts of Kentucky.